So I'm Andy Scollin, Director of Sales Representatives at Salesforce.com. So just sales development at Salesforce is all about lead qualification and handing those qualified opportunities over to our account executives. So this is what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about lead qualification. What is the process? How do we do it at Salesforce? So Ursula just did a great job going through best practices, campaign management, how to collect those leads. And what I'm going to talk about is once you get that lead, how do you turn that into pipeline to close business? So just some terms. I'll be talking about SR, which stands for Sales Representative. That's the team that does the lead qualification. They're not actually closing any business. Those are our account executives who have the quotas and do all the closing. So the leads come in, we qualify, we pass over to corporate sales or field sales. Corporate sales is, in Salesforce terminology, all companies with 1,300 employees or less is considered corporate sales. That's the majority of the leads that we convert go to corporate sales. And then we also do send some to field. Field is anything above 1,300 employees. But within the sales development world, we also have a team that does strictly outbound prospecting, that they're aligned with the field team. So in terms of marketing, I talk to a lot of customers, and the complaints I hear from marketing, I think we have a lot of marketing people in here, is that when they hand over the leads to sales, they don't know what happens to those leads, right? You're running campaigns, you don't get feedback. And what's the common complaint sales is always saying? Marketing is giving us terrible leads, right? So with Salesforce, with reports, dashboards, with everyone using the same application, you really get that complete picture, and that's kind of what I'm going to walk through. So just to step back and talk about the sales rep and who they are really the front lines for Salesforce. So when it's usually the first contact that a customer has with our company. They're the front lines. We generally hire people with 1 to 2 years sales experience. And what we're looking for is our future account executives. It's a training ground. They spend about 12 months in that role, and then ultimately we move them on to an account executive role. So as you can imagine, we're a very dashboard-driven culture at Salesforce. It's highly competitive. Everyone's always looking at dashboards. They generally have 2 screens up, one whatever they're doing, and the other one they want to see the dashboard and where they are at all times. Typically, the reps are looking at this dashboard. So this is a snapshot of the main SR dashboard. We have 70 SRs in the U.S. that are qualifying leads, inbound leads. And people always want to know, well, how do you compensate them? So this is how we do it, actually. There's 2 metrics here, 2 pieces of quota. We're on a monthly quota here. On the left, I think it's to the left for you, yes. On the left, that's converted opportunities. That's taking a lead, converting that to a qualified opportunity. And they have a quota, and as you can imagine, they're trying to exceed that quota. Now, there was a time where that was the only quota. But the problem that you run, the risk that you run, is that some reps, to blow out their quota, will just send a lot of garbage over. Right? So now you've got account executives who are following up on not so qualified leads. So the other component that we have on the right is the quality control piece. It's closed business. It's points. And points for us, we take a formula field, we look at the dollar amount closed, we assign a point value. So every month they have a convert quota and a points quota. We take those 2, 50% weighting each. That's their overall percentage of quota. And then we stack rank them against all 70 SRs. So it's very competitive. But that's how we're doing it. Another quality control piece that we have is that when an opportunity is created and it's sent to an account executive, they now have the stages on the opportunity. If they call and it's not a good fit, should have never been flipped, or there's no budget or whatever, they can actually change that opportunity stage to dead no opportunity. It's as if they're saying it's garbage. It shouldn't have been flipped over. So 2 things happen when an opportunity goes to dead no opportunity. An email is automatically sent to the rep who created it, letting them know that their deal just went dead. We use Workflow for that. And the second thing that happens is on the dashboard I just showed you with the converts, we filter out all opportunities created that month with a stage of dead no opportunity. So in essence, that convert comes right off the board. It's like it never happened. So a couple of pieces of quality control that we use. So now I'm just going to show you a bunch of components that we use to help run our business. This is a data quality email that we have emailed automatically out every week to our reps to make sure that they're on top of their business. As you can see, there's things like open leads, Open leads over 48 hours, that's a really bad one. But the great thing about open leads is we have a thing right down there on the dashboard that says, if you have more than 30, we're going to use that out-of-office SR and take you out of the router. You're not going to get any new leads. We're going to give them to people that are getting through those open leads that are hungry. So this is great for sales. This is great for marketing. Marketing knows that, hey, all the leads that we're sending, we're doing all this great work to generate, we know they're being followed up on. Other things we look at, overdue tasks, archived leads with no activity. Like I said before, we require a minimum of 2 touches. If anyone shows up here, we know that they haven't even reached out. We also employ dashboards of shame, as we like to call them. It's the Trivial Pursuit looking piece on the right. Those are deals that were created by our reps that went dead no opportunity within 48 hours. So probably should have never been flipped in the first place. Again, this is auto-emailed to all of our reps so that they know to stay on top of their business. We can also take a look at the products that we're selling, the product mix. Salesforce allows us to do that. This is great for a number of reasons. We can drill in, we can look at what a rep is selling, and oftentimes we'll see that a newer rep tends to focus on our lower editions, the ones that are easy to sell. And so we can work with that rep and talk about what are some of the questions that you can ask to maybe upsell and get those customers to a higher edition. Marketing loves these as well because they can look in and say, hey, we're not selling enough Force.com. We got to do some Force.com campaigns. So these are some of the things that we look at. Conversion, close rate, dead rates. Another big one for us, especially when we're having conversations with our reps and how they're doing. We can look at the conversion rate of the leads they got compared to their fellow SRs. We can look at the close rate of the deals. We can look at the dead rate. It really gives us a good picture of how that rep is performing. Marketing can do the same thing. They can look at the conversion rate of a particular campaign. Maybe it has a high conversion rate but a low close rate. And then they can start to drill in and see why is that. We really encourage all of our reps to run their business like it's their own. So Ursula talked about if you've got a good thing, go ahead and clone it. Well, on day one, we have all of our reps clone a personal dashboard so that they have something that they can use to focus in on to manage their own business. It might be how many flips. They can look at their dead opportunities. What's the reason for those dead opportunities? It really gives them a sense of running their own business. And we work closely with marketing. Right? This is another email that's auto-emailed out. It's a dashboard, that's auto-emailed out to marketing. So marketing knows at all times what's going on in sales. They can see of the leads that they're creating, what is happening with those leads, what sales doing with them. One of the components on the bottom you can see is daily lead flow. Right? If we get a spike or it's flat or low, marketing can drill in and try to understand why. What happened? Why did we have a spike? Or why is it low? What do we need to do? What do we need to tweak? So in general, I think that the sales and marketing team at Salesforce.com, part of the reason that we've been successful is that we really work well together. We meet weekly. Because everything's in Salesforce.com, there's one version of the truth. There's no hiding. They're creating the campaigns. They're generating the leads. And sales is working on those leads and hopefully converting them. But we all have access to the same information. We collaborate, what's working, what's not working. And I really think that that's why both teams have been successful. Our success depends on each other. So there's a lot of collaboration and a lot of drilling into these dashboards together.